Hey everyone, this is Link USD Daily Chart, and of course we've now had a break of the 200 MA on the daily chart, which is a very significant break, and we haven't had any interactions above this level since October 2025, so that's a good while now. You see here's a price action, and obviously once we get above the 200 MA we do tend to have some bullish price action. Here's the break on the 11th of November 24 after the US election, and here it is again in the summer 2025. Break, bullish retest, and up we go. But the advantage here, of course, is we do have much lower prices now, whereas these breaks were occurring at around $15. This breaks have occurred at around $9 and $8, and therefore we have much lower prices, which is going to be quite attractive to people as the bear market enters its final potential phase as we enter quarter 4 of this year 2026. So how do we trade this? Well, the first thing is we could look at Link potentially as this is the beginning of the curving round, the bottoming pattern of this particular asset. One of the few which has some bullish conditions. And of course, you can see that the 50 looks like it could be crossing also for that golden cross. The 50 going above the 200 on the daily is very significant because, of course, as we've said previously, as you can see, whenever we get that cross, we also have upside. And therefore, that's what we're looking to capitalize on with Chainlink at present. But what is the play? Well, as you can see, this is forming a nice little pocket here. So if you imagine the cross of these moving averages, which is also aligning nicely with previous local support, local resistance, quite a well-defined line actually. It's actually a bit of a range, a bit of a zone. So you can see just for context, here's the zone 8.1 to 8.4, but 8.4 is the most solidified of these levels, but it is a zone. So we've broken above it. Now, where's the moving average going to be in a few days? So if you see this, right? So let me just get rid of this. We'll just get rid of this to make it a little bit clearer. So here's where the 200 MA is most likely to be, coming down flush with this very clear support line. See resistance support 8.4. There we go. And we could see the price action simply come back down into this range. And there's your manageable entry, right? That would have been a manageable entry even without the 200 MA, right? But we do now have that confluence. And then we could potentially look, if we're lucky, for taking profits up at $10 for a more short-term trade. Now, of course, if you think this is the final reversal before a new bull market, well, you could be entering down here for much higher prices heading up to 21, 27. But the reality is that when we're looking at these assets for long-term reversals, we have to look at Bitcoin as well. Is Bitcoin also ready to reverse? Because Bitcoin drives the market. And the answer at the moment is no. Therefore, caution here. This is Link trying to prematurely perhaps start to reverse and turn from a downtrend to an uptrend, but Bitcoin potentially could cause problems for that. Therefore, we could see some interactions with this level first, but there is a nice play here as we've suggested. So you wait, don't chase this, wait for the price action to come back down. This is where you want to be at around 8.5 with the 200 MA below us and the 50 also offering us a little bit of confluence before that golden cross. Wait for the stock RSI to cool down a little bit and then take your play, and then it would be simply like this, and then up to here. And if we put our long position tool on, that would look something like this. And you have something which is pretty manageable with clearly defined support, with lovely confluence, with these significant moving averages on a significant time frame. But a bit of patience here is required. And of course, if you see a Link continue up from here and break above $10 to $11, then we can reevaluate. But as long as it stays below this level here at 10 to 11, this is your ideal entrance. But it's just a waiting game. But that's Link.